job, Mo. All right, sweet. Hi, folks. I'm Coelti. I'm in the shade.
That's awesome. Okay, all right. With a microphone. I'm in the shade with a microphone. I have so much power right now. We should not be instilling this much power in a poet. Just kidding. Give poets all the power. I am super glad that I get to introduce myself, but I'm at the same puzzle of why our host here didn't get a bio from me. It's because I am many people all at once, and trying to describe myself is poetry in process. But what are some identities I have? I'm non-binary. That's cool. Maybe that means something to you. Maybe it doesn't. I am white with Filipino heritage. Maybe that means something to you. Maybe it doesn't. I am I think the phrase I am going with is sex worker turned sex educator. But I'm enough of a philosopher to be like, how come I can be a knowledge worker about sex, but I can't work directly with it? That sounds like a paradigm we need to break down. That's not what most of my poetry is about, but those are some identities by means of biography. I call myself an interdisciplinary poet. I'm a professional voiceover artist. Poetic affiliations include the Poetry Society of New York and the Poetry Brothel, and Lit Fire Poets, where me and my bestie perform poetry and fire eating at the same time. So if you feel like adding fire and spoken word to any of your upcoming events, weddings, celebrations, funerals, we are customizable in that regard. So inspired by Mo's gravity, I was like, what am I going to share? And I found some pretty morbid little sprouts in my notebook. They're not full-fledged poems, but since, we're in a place of half measures and all that jazz, I figured I'd start with those before we get into the fully worked stuff. Do I have your consent to start with the sprouts?
Yes,
wonderful.
Sprouts.
All right. They're dark. But I was like, all right. I guess I've had moods before. Let me see if I can turn this up. Oh, that's the brightest. Okay. Oh, let's see. All right, here we go. Dark Little Sprout number 1. November 19th, 2019, 2:14 p.m. Bind my tongue intact. All the ways I can't say what slithers in the electric space behind my teeth, gridded where a smile might be, caging the wounding wit of my perspective before it slaughters us both. Submission as a drug in a week 3 years long, a moment that outgrew its shape so slowly all of a sudden. All the ways I could say what I absolutely shouldn't. Perhaps I increased my chances by staying silent, but oh my darling, my laugh already has its own reputation. My scream still has a chance at a first impression. Oh, okay, this one's also quite angry, and not very long. You put the slaughter in solidarity. It didn't have to be there, caking liquid blood into bricks on a path that does not end, making gas of our sinew, our purpose, our cause, our ruthless attempts to go beyond where they let us go. How dare you kill in the name of us when you have splintered us time and time again. All right, we'll see if those actually become something, but for now, I'll just say I had no idea what to anticipate today. I just said yes because I really respect Whitney and what she's bringing together, and I'm really appreciative that she's taken a chance on a poet like me who's still developing their poetic identity. And I think this Assembly Zone project is really, really cool. It's really awesome to immerse people in progressive perspectives through offering support. Because I think sometimes, especially in today's political climate, people are in need of examples of how to live in this new space they want, more so than theory about what needs to change. So good on you for doing the work to assemble it all together. Please give a round of applause for our host, Michael Workman here. So kudos on this project. Because of that lack of understanding, I didn't prepare relevant work lo siento. But I do have some poems that I found in a notebook. One other thing is I'm moving right now, so I literally will leave here and go haul furniture in this heat for about 10 hours. So I didn't know where any of my poems were, but I got 2 on the paper and 1 on my noggin. So if I still have your attention, please and thank you. This is inspired by a pair of cards in the Brady Tarot. The Brady Tarot is designed by an artist named Emmy Brady, who created woodcuts of different animals in the North and South American pantheon of various native religions, and reworked all of the suits to include cards such as the Father of Arrows and the Mother of Arrows. And if all right, we got some wind, so we're gonna use our, I promise I'm a voice professional factor here. All right, except this is not the same page. This is a page about what I'm naturally good at. Sometimes you have to affirm your own values. Okay. And, all right, let me find that page. Thank you so much for letting me riff into the poetry I was going to read. All right, this one is called Father of Arrows. Flight is the birthright of the Father of Arrows, equal parts muscle and feather, rod and metal, beak and bone. He lifts our expectations of our relations, asks us each to become better for the length of the journey. I am bipedal and learning how to lift, how to call in birthright, how to become better. So as he circles my upright bones and calls me to consider our relation, I appreciate his distant patience for the slow sprawl of my awkward wings, equal parts muscle and feather and hope. Of course, for my gesturing, I forgot to wind filter here, but I am bipedal with only 2 arms. Give me a moment. For Mother of Arrows. She embraces me slowly, nerves acclimating to intimacy, joy in intelligence, a guarded mother of arrows. The seed within me cracks, responds to her bravery, a loving constraint brought on by patient days. When the commons began to wither under violent enclosure, she adapted the shape of her wisdom, but not the gravity. Her hearth is warm, tight, deep enough for a mere few to move the riddles around. And what links us together is a refusal to die without dignity. Not overextended your attention too much. I have one final signature piece with your permission. Yes. And at this point, we got to move this out of the way.
Oh no! I unplugged it!
I got you.
That's fine. I have a theater voice, which I actually prefer to do this piece with instead. But if you're recording, oh gosh!
All right, here's our distance. Here we go. This much theatricality. All right, sweet. This piece is called Measured. It clicks the way a gear clicks. As sudden as the occasion it announces, not by sound, but by designation. A resonant fit in a fitful machine. If I fall in love with you, and my heart makes a sound, but no one's around to hear it, then did it really happen? Falling never seems to be the problem, though. More so all the ways we watch the time go. Romance or no. Lovingness. In the midst of time's swiftness is a lesson in choosing what to catch and what to miss. Wisdom offers me my own limits, and goodness knows that loving isn't the problem either. Our here is wherever we want it to be, and our now is whenever we can, but
How quickly would I rush to dismantle my barriers to loving you?
if I could only bargain more time to do so. We are encouraged by sensitive types to bring our guts to each other. And so I listen to my heart by cushioning it in my flesh, a resonant fit in a fitful machine. Drop my desire into my belly and insinuate with desperate undulation that I have any control in the matter, for you see,
Each moment that I choose to love you, I accept the negotiations of time, of space, and of us. Thank you so much for your time. Reset. We are DIY artists. There you go. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I think we're going to give everybody like 5 minutes to get water, use
Get
the bathroom,
water,
et cetera.
yes.
And then we're going to move on to our Movement Matters discussion today. Thank you all for reading, and thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. And we'll get started in about 5 minutes.